have another totally epic soup recipe for you guys today. It's a smoky chickpea soup that is packed with veggies. It has a ton of delicious smoky spices, and it even has a separate recipe within this recipe. It's like recipe inception. Recipeception. Oh! It is a crunchy soup topper that is high in protein, and it is so good. You will want to just put it on everything, not just soup. It also makes a great snack. So without further ado, let's get into this really nice high protein smoky chickpea soup that's going to make you feel so much better. Let's start by making our crispy tofu soup topper. Okay, so your first order of business is to grab a block of extra firm tofu. As you see here, it is extra firm and it's been patted dry so that it has the least amount of moisture in it as possible. And you're gonna grab a big bowl and a nice big box grater. We're going to be using the large hole side of the box grater. You're just gonna pop this in your bowl and you're gonna start grating your tofu. It's so simple. Just like you would grate a big block of cheese or something, or a carrot, which I will be using later. You're just gonna basically just shred this entire block into the bowl. It'll take you like 1 minute. Ta-da! Here you are, all of your tofu in a bowl. It's nice and shredded. Next, what we're gonna do is we are going to take some oil. You can use really any oil you have. I'm just gonna be using like a neutral oil. I have some sunflower oil. I'm gonna drizzle about, say that's about a tablespoon right there. And we're just gonna give this a little toss. The oil will just help to make the tofu shreds a little bit crispier because we're gonna be air frying these. And here we have some spices. We have 2 teaspoons of cumin and 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. We're just gonna sprinkle in half of this into the tofu. Try and get it as equal parts as possible. It's okay if it's a little more or a little less. And then I'm just gonna toss it again one more time. Add a little bit of salt and pepper as well. Now what I'm doing is I'm just lining an air fryer basket with some foil or parchment paper. And I'm just gonna add in the shredded tofu just in a single even layer right on the parchment paper. And we're just going to pretty much pop this in the air fryer. Imagine that. Air frying something in the air fryer? What? That's it. Here she be. Let's pop her in the air fryer. We're gonna let this crisp up for about 20 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes at about 375 Fahrenheit. While the tofu air fries and gets nice and crispy, we're just gonna do some really quick veggie prep. Chop up your carrot, onion, and garlic, please. Alrighty, let us mosey on over to our stove and we are going to just get a saucepan, warming up over medium-high heat, and we're going to warm up about a 1/4 cup of water, or if you're using oil, you can just add about a tablespoon of oil. So once your water or broth has started to get steamy, like you see here, or if you're using oil, once it's shimmery, you can add in your carrot and your onion, and we're just going to let those cook, saute down for about 5 minutes or so, just until the onions are nice and soft and the carrots are also softened. The onions have gotten a little bit darker in color. You know the drill. We're just gonna let those have a good time here for about 5 minutes. Next, we're gonna add our remaining spices. We've got some dried oregano, smoked paprika, and cumin. Just add those in there. We're just going to give this a little stir. We're just gonna let this toast in the pan. Now that the pan is kind of mostly dry, we're gonna just sort of dry toast them here, stirring them constantly until all the veggies are coated in the spices. And this is just gonna help infuse the vegetables with the spices, kind of as they toast, release their flavor, you know what I mean? Next, we're just going to add in the soaked lentils, or sorry, they're not soaked, they're rinsed. Make sure you rinse them just to kind of get rid of any debris. Give them a toss with the spiced veggies, and we're just kind of gonna let them also toast as well. This just kind of helps them to cook a little bit nicer, retain a little bit of their shape so they don't just turn into total mush. Wahoo! Okay, lentils toasted. Check, check, check. Now we're going to add our big ass can of diced canned tomatoes. Did I say can of canned tomatoes? I think I did say that. Wow. My brain really is like infected right now. Anyway, now we're gonna add in some water or veggie broth. I'm gonna start with adding about three-ish, yeah, it's about 3 cups there. You can do 3 to 4 cups depending on how brothy you like your soups. Now we're just going to cover this, let it come to like a little boil. And then when the soup does come to a boil, we're just going to turn it down to like a low-ish simmer, like heat level 3 or 4. And we're going to let the lentils cook for 10 minutes before we add our next set of ingredients. Methinks we're gonna add a little bit more paprika. Let's do like half a teaspoon. Give it a little stirry. While the soup continues to cook, let's check in on our little crispy tofu strips or shreds that just finished up a few minutes ago. They are crispy. We like that. You hear that crunch? Hell yeah. Okay, friendos, the time has come to add in our chickpeas. So we're just going to carefully add them in and pray to the soup gods that I did not just overflow my pot. So while the chickpeas are just heating through, I'm gonna show you what I'm about to do with the garlic. All right, gather around, children. This is what we're about to do. I'm going to take 1 cup of our soup. Try to get as much brothiness as possible. We want some liquid. About a cup. We're gonna add it into a little blender jug. If you have like a bullet blender, this is the time to pull it out. Yeah, like a cup-ish. If you do 2 cups, that's fine too. And if you want to add some solids like beans and stuff, that's fine too. It'll kind of get creamy when it blends up. We're gonna be putting this back into the pot in a moment. Allow me to show you what I am talking about. Now we have our lovely little cup of soup here, and here's where the garlic comes in. We're gonna take all of this garlic and we're going to add it to this cup of soup here. And we're gonna take our nutritional yeast, all 3 tablespoons of it. We're gonna add it to the mixture and we're gonna blend it all up. Just like that, folks. Look at that, that's nice and creamy. Now you might be wondering, why did you just do that, Janelle? Why couldn't you have just put the garlic right in the soup? I could have, that would have been totally fine. But this way, when I pour this back into the soup, oh, it smells so good. It's gonna just totally infuse every single bite of that soup with really fresh, pungent garlic, which personally is what I like, especially when I'm fighting off a cold or sickness. I want as much of that good garlicky stuff in there, present in every bite possible. So adding that in to the mixture is just really a cool little hack that I have learned. Plus adding the nutritional yeast adds a nice little savory kick, adds lots of flavor, adds a little bit of je ne sais quoi, a little bit of just awesomeness. Nutritional yeast is just kind of got this cheesy-ish quality. And so now that we have this finished here, we're just going to pour this concoction right back into the pot. Ooh, yum. Do you see what I see? Oh, yes. It's crazy. I didn't even blend up that much of the soup, but look how like velvety creamy that just made it. Good golly. Oh, and I really smell that garlic. Oh. Okay, last stepperoonie. That's right, I just made up a word. We're gonna add in some spinach. Really, any dark leafy green will do. Swiss chard, collard greens, kale, just a little extra nutrition. I'm just gonna kind of press that all in and let it wilt. I am now gonna turn off the heat and just let the residual heat from our soup kind of wilt and cook down the spinach, and serve it up in a couple minutes. You get a nice soup facial just by, letting all the steam vapors just waft up into your sinuses. Okay, let's be real. I wanna eat. I'm more hungry than anything, so let's have a bowl. Now we're not done. We're gonna add our crispy tofu shreds. They're nice and smoky and flavorful. These are just such a perfect soup topper, like I said before. They are crunchy, they're chewy, they're flavorful, and you don't even have to make them to go on soup. You can put them on salads. You can eat them just as a snack, like literally just eat you could have an entire block of tofu just by eating these, like nom 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 nom. Let us do a taste test of the smoky chickpea soup. Oh, the garlic. Oh, if you're a garlic lover, this one's for you. Whoa, damn. Yes, that's so good. Soupception. It's one dreamy recipe within another dreamy recipe, and it works. And this is also just so comforting if you're under the weather, like myself. If you're in a soupy kind of mood, then check out my latest soup recipe video right up here, or some of my other epic fall recipes in this playlist here. Thank you for watching. Once again, I love you very much, and I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see ya in another one. Be well. Bye-bye.